just a couple minutes late today setting things up. My computer felt like going really slow, so really gonna just jump into tonight's slate. We don't have much pitching going on for us, but we're gonna figure things out here. I'm just gonna pull up my phone here, and we'll move right into things tonight. So for pitching, there's nothing too certain here. I do really like Nick Kingham against the Mets. He's one of the best favorites tonight. And I do like Derek Rodriguez at home against the Brewers. Both of these pitchers are featured in two of the lowest total games tonight. There's really nowhere else you want to go. Everyone else is not really worth picking. You can maybe look at Rich Hill for a GPP option tonight just because he's a guy that can really rack up the strikeouts. But even Rich Hill is a little pricey there at $9K against a really good Braves offense. So there's better ways you can go. Nick Kingham and Derek Rodriguez are probably my two favorite options tonight. Definitely worth a look there. You can't go anywhere else. Even the cheaper guys you don't really want to look at here. It's mainly a bats kind of night tonight. So not going to really get caught up too much on the pitching. If you're doing DraftKings, you definitely want to go Kingham and Rodriguez as your two pitchers tonight, without a doubt. So let's jump right into the first game tonight. You got Kansas City at the Yankees. This game isn't too great. Junis has been giving it up though lately, but I haven't been a fan of picking Yankees as of late, just because they're overpriced and you don't really know who to go with. This isn't really a game I'm gonna get caught up on. I do like Didi at 3,500. That's a very fair price for him. He's normally a guy that's over 4,000, so that's not a bad play. Brett Gardner's 3,200, so if you want to do a little pairing of the Yankees, Gardner and Didi are probably my two guys to go to here, with it being a lefty-righty matchup there for both of those guys. As far as the Royals go, I'm all set with them. They're not really a good offense, and Sonny Gray, even though he hasn't been great at all, he can be good. There's no need to pick Royals in this scenario. Tampa Bay at Baltimore, I do like this game for GPP, not for the pitchers, but for the hitters. Vegas has this game at a 9 total, so it's a pretty good offensive game here. You got some good value here. I do like some Rays hitters against Alex Cobb. Jake Bauers, lefty-righty matchup, 3,300, not a bad play here. Like I said, GPP option. He's a guy that can hit a couple homers. He's been pretty good since he's been called up this year. Even G-Man Choi, he's not a bad play at 2,500. Again, anyone here on the Rays is pretty decent just because Alex Cobb can give it up at any moment. Another good play in this game is Kiermaier, 2,900 leading off. He could actually be a cash game play here. Probably the only cash game viable play in this game is Kevin Kiermaier, 2,900 leading off with that lefty-righty matchup. Mets at Pittsburgh, like I said, I'm a huge Nick Kingham guy tonight. The Mets aren't that good of an offense. Pirates are a favorite tonight, minus 150, and it is the lowest total of the night at 8. So Kingham makes for arguably the best pitching play tonight on tonight's slate. As far as the Pirates bats go, there's some really good value here against Steven Matz. You have Starling Marte getting the night off, or he's a DTD with a hand, but I think he's just getting the night off. This leaves some good value out here tonight, guys. You want to look at Jordan Luplow leading off tonight, 2,200, lefty-righty matchup. This is probably the best punt play of the night here. Just in that leadoff spot tonight against Steven Matz, who hasn't been great, is a really good play here. I also really, really like David Freese batting cleanup, another good punt play at 2,200. And I like Josh Harrison a lot, too, with that lefty-righty matchup at 2,800 batting second. All these cheap Pirates guys make for really good plays tonight, just because Steven Matz hasn't been on all year long. So, the top of that Pirates lineup is definitely viable for some cash plays. Steven Matz is sporting a 3.65 ERA, but he just got lit up by the Yankees last start. 17 hits allowed in his last two games. Certainly not in a great groove, so not a bad time to spend down on some Pirates hitters against them tonight. Minnesota at Boston. This has a high total of 10, which makes sense. It's at Fenway. You got two pretty bad pitchers tonight, Kyle Gibson, Brian Johnson. My favorite value play in this game is probably Mitch Graver. He's batting 5th tonight, 2,100. Oh, and like I tweeted out earlier, I love that FanDuel updated most of these players' pictures. There were so many out there that were just on the wrong team, or there was just no profile picture, which really kind of just bothers me. I don't know if it bothers you guys, but I actually tweeted at them about a week ago about how it's pathetic how they don't have any updated pictures, and so be it. Today they did a lot of updating. I don't know if they actually listened to me or it was just a coincidence, but it's good to see some guys' pictures here, put a face to everyone's name. Mitch Garver is a great play at 2,100. He's got the lefty-righty matchup tonight against the southpaw Brian Johnson. This game is going to feature a lot of runs, so not a bad play here. And then the Red Sox are the same as always. It's just you pick your poison. Anyone can have a good game. Benintendi's probably the best play out of the bunch just because he's only 4,100. He's been really hot. He homered yesterday, but that game ended up getting postponed, so it didn't even end up counting. So this guy is swinging the bat pretty well. Do like the lefty-righty matchup here. Batting second. Probably the best Red Sox play in this game is Andrew Benintendi. Philadelphia at Cincinnati. I don't love this game. I know it's got a pretty high total. Adam Duvall, a good lefty-righty matchup. He's mainly a GPP play tonight, just because he can hit a homer at any moment, but his average is so bad, I have no faith in him. He could easily have an 0 for 4, 3 strikeout kind of game, but he is against the inexperienced Ranger Suarez, the lefty. So anytime Duvall's up against a lefty in Cincinnati, he has the opportunity to hit a homer, maybe even 2. So that puts him in play for a pretty good GPP play tonight, just because he has that home run upside. As far as anyone else in this game, everyone's pretty fairly priced. Santana's 3,300. That's not bad. You got Tyler Mahle on the mound for the Reds. Santana makes for a pretty decent play at 3,300. He's coming off of he's on a 4-game hitting streak. He's seen the ball pretty well right now. I don't mind him. But this game, surprisingly enough, is pretty fadeable in my opinion. I did have Tucker Barnhart yesterday in the early-only games. I don't know if any of you guys were on that lineup, but he was 1% owned, and he hit a homer. It rode my lineup into the cash, so that was huge. But I'm not looking at him today, batting 6th. I don't love his matchup as much. Washington at Miami. I love the Miami bats tonight. You got, you don't even see it on FanDuel because he's not even on there right now for the Nationals, but you have Tommy Milone, the lefty, starting for them tonight. This is kind of a desperation start here for the Nationals. Milone hasn't been pitching in the bigs all year. I expect the Marlins to be able to tag him. There's some really good, valuable right-handed bats in this Marlins lineup. JT Realmuto, 3K batting 3rd. A fantastic play here against the lefty Milone. You could throw him in any format of a lineup. Starlin Castro, another awesome play at 2,800. And then you got Brian Johnson as well, batting 2nd, 3,100, another lefty-righty matchup. The top 3 bats in this Marlins lineup are awesome plays here. You got Castro, Anderson, Realmuto. I love all of them here. Marlins are expected to score some runs tonight, as is the Nationals against Dan Straley. The Nationals just aren't as valued in salary. Bryce Harper, 4K, not bad. You could definitely put him in some GPPs just because it's Bryce Harper. He could easily be around 5K. He's got a pretty good matchup against Dan Straley. Lefty-righty matchup. Adam Eaton makes for a pretty good cash game play tonight. 3,000 with a player like Eaton and his high-caliber talent. 3,000 is a great play for him. Lefty-righty matchup against Straley. He's a guy that can hit a homer. He can steal bases, and he looks like he's just starting to get into the groove of things since his injury. So I like Eaton at 3,000. That's a pretty cheap price for him. As far as everyone else goes, that's about it. Trey Turner's pretty fairly priced at 3,400 if you want to go that route as well. Los Angeles, Atlanta. I want to say this game is pretty fadeable here. Rich Hill can be great, not worth picking. And Anibal Sanchez has actually been pretty good too. The Dodgers are pretty highly priced. I say this game is a full-on fade in my opinion tonight, unless you're doing Rich Hill and a couple of GBPs. But even then, I don't love him tonight against a great Braves offense. This game, this is the best game of the night, guys. It's been the game to pick from all week so far. This Oakland-Texas series has just featuring a ton of bad pitching and a ton of good value on the bats side of things. So I do really like this Oakland and Rangers game here. You got Chris Davis is probably my favorite player of the night. He's been one of the hottest hitters in baseball. He's had some late game heroic home runs all week long. Look at this. I mean, he's got 6 home runs in his last 4 games. The guy is hotter than fire right now. I love him tonight. He's the stud you want to spend up for at 4,500, and he's got a great matchup against Bartolo Colon. Absolutely love Chris Davis. And I did say Luplaw on the Pirates was the best punt play of the night, and I completely forgot about Nick Martini. Jump up to the bar, grab yourself a martini, and throw him in your cash games. He's a great play tonight. 2,200, basically bare minimum here. He's got, I don't even know if he's a lefty or a righty. FanDuel doesn't have his batter. I think the lineup thing shows it. Let's see. He's a lefty, so he's got the lefty-righty matchup. Just love his spot tonight. The Athletics are projected to score the most amount of runs out of any team tonight. So Nick Martini batting leadoff tonight against Cologne is in an awesome spot. I also like any other guys in this game, basically. You could go with anyone, but I like Davis and Martini the most. You could go with Chu. He's a pretty fair price at 3,400. He's got a nice lefty-righty matchup against Cahill. Everyone's price has gone up a little bit, but even Adrian Beltre is in a good spot at 2,800. Simeon's price went up a bunch to 3,900. I don't love him as much. Matt Olson, a pretty good play, lefty-righty matchup. He's got some good pop against Cologne. So 3,500 is a pretty fair price on him. But the cash game plays mainly in this game are Chris Davis and Nick Martini. Milwaukee at San Francisco. I don't like the Milwaukee side of things here, just because I said Derek Rodriguez is one of the best pitchers on the slate tonight. Him and Nick Kingham. You could go with either of these guys in cash games, but as far as the Giants go, they're batting against Wade Miley, so if you can find some value with the right-handed bats in this game, go for it. I don't love this game for bats at all, but I don't mind an Andrew McCutchen, a Buster Posey against Wade Miley. There's worse plays out there, but there's certainly better plays out there as well. But this game is basically a wash as well. It's a pretty quick slate tonight, guys. Oakland and Texas, the best game to pick from tonight. I like Miami, the right-handed bats in that game. I like a couple of Nationals guys, like I said, along with the Pittsburgh value at the top of their lineup tonight against Steven Matz. And then Tampa Bay is a good GPP stack tonight against Alex Cobb, along with the Minnesota and Red Sox game being pretty valuable with that high run total. If you have any questions, I'll just take a look at my phone now. I do have a giveaway going on Twitter right now, 250 free Guru credits if you retweet my tweet. I'm going to be picking a winner tomorrow. All you got to do is... Okay, this is not what you want to do. Okay, all you got to do is retweet my latest tweet, and I'll be picking a winner of that tomorrow. But I definitely... That's not working. I'm just going to quit out on that. Just go over to my Twitter page and look at that. But let me look over at any chats here. The chat's not coming up for me. Here we go. AZ the Destroyer get trolled by Bartolo. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Bartolo's had a couple troll games against the Athletics, but again, you gotta just go with the numbers and the names on the paper because you can't really actually play for these players. You just gotta put yourself in the best possible position, and that is picking Ace tonight. I mean, Vegas loves them. This game has a 11 over under, and the Athletics are favored, so they're absolutely expected to mash Cologne tonight. So You just can't fade the Athletics to any stretch tonight. I just like them too much. They're just in a really good spot tonight. So that's going to really sum up this show today, guys. For any of you that tune in, thank you. Drop a like under the video and subscribe if you haven't. And go on to my site later on tonight around 6:30 Eastern to look for some lineups. Until next time, I'm the FT Guru, and I'm signing off.